Okay, hello everybody. This is video number 3 of a 3-part video series, and if I don't get a chance to title this video and the first 2, just look at the videos that were uploaded on the same date as this one, because it should, as a result of what I'm going to state, it should give you the other 2 videos. What I'm going to state in this video should give you a clue pertaining to how this is the third of sorry, I got a bird grabbing for my attention. As a result of the subject matter of this video, when you if this video is not titled right away, and or if the other 2 YouTube URL links are not in the description of this one, just go into this YouTube channel and look for some YouTube videos that are pretty much same in the same subject matter pertaining to the same upload date, and you should be able to find the first and second one, so you can get an understanding on how this one is an addendum to those first 2. And I apologize that my videos lately had not been titled. I haven't even titled the videos yet pertaining to the November 30th Miriam Bear Park incident that occurred. My schedule is just really crazy. In fact, let me just take a puff off the cigarette, and then I'm going to explain to you just real fast what I've been through just in the past 10 days. I hate smoking on video. Alright, check it out. On the 6th, the night of the 5th of January, we got some flash flooding and some El Nino storms here in San Diego. Now, right before that occurred, I just went and did my laundry, and every single bit of it got soaked, along with some property getting lost. Alright? And so I not only had to go through everything and find everything, I also then had to prepare it to go do my laundry. It took 3 days just to find everything and then prepare the laundry to go do it. Then once it was done, I had to bring it back, filter through it in order to make up what I needed for each day to wear. That took over 6 days at least, just and that's not including that I couldn't get none of it done until it stopped raining, and it rained 3 days in a row. So that took at least 9 days out of my schedule. That's why I haven't went to a law firm or looked for any studio apartments or rooms for rent. Now, I'm already being gang stalked to the area that I go to rest at. Hold on. Now, when you look at the November 30th event in reference to its date, and the fact that I was assaulted on December 2nd, my bike was stolen on December 7th, I had to find, I'm not going to say too much pertaining to my hiking situation, but let me just put it to you this way. I had to go through a lot in order to move property to it, to find spots to hide it, to deal with how I was going to start bringing my bike into the area as a result of my bike that was only a month and a half old being stolen on the 7th. It took 2.5 days to, well, it took a day and a half to recover from that. And then dealing with getting settled in, finding hiding spots for my property, then preparing for the court date on January 5th, and then it rained the next 3 days, that night, and then the next 2.5 days. So recovering from that, losing sleep because of it, you would not believe what I've been through just in the past 15-20 days. It's just been horrendous. So anyways, the reason why I'm making this video is because what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you a little bit of the creative, covert techniques of gang stalking, in reference to how how just this aspect of it can be incrementally implemented in order to bring about circumstances and effects that are then monopolized on. And this is just one aspect of it, so pay attention closely. In organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions, after they create the homelessness of you, and then over time, they start intentionally bringing police to your area, including even using the target's own thinking to call the police after a staged assault at the area. And these are done for falsified police reports, information sheets, and incident reports, which I've already talked about in many videos. Then they will start motivating the target through intimidation and fear to get an apartment. And this is only done so they can get the target to go through the money pertaining to how much money it costs to get an apartment. First and last month's rent, security deposit, cost of utility hookup, the cost of food, because we all know when we're moving, we don't really have a stove or anything to cook meals as we're preparing to move and as we're moving, and how our schedule is affected because of the moving. So there's a lot of cost in getting a place, and they know it. And that's one of the main goals of intimidating a target to get an apartment through normal appearing reasons and excuses, by intimidating the target that they're going to get arrested, ticketed for illegal lodging, illegal trespassing, illegal encroachment. Fear and intimidation that is brought about through the effects of those tickets and arrest, the courts, public defenders, and prosecutors. And this is all done to put a target in a non-stop, constant, everyday campaign of, I better get out of this situation or they're going to really start taking advantage of it. And this is in turn the psychological intimidation. And the only reason why they're doing that outside of the information sheets, falsified information sheets, law enforcement, falsified police reports and incident reports, which they later use as a vehicle to assist in the illegal probate control for the racketeering, insurance fraud, and human trafficking. But they also intimidate the target to get an apartment, not just to get them to go through all this money, because they plan on also having the target evicted again. But it's also done, like I stated in the second video, in reference to, they also additionally will use social services reports pertaining to how target was homeless for a long period of time, then they got a place, then they lost it because they think they're being stalked by people they don't know. They then label the target as being mentally ill, and then try and claim that the victim was homeless for a long time, got an apartment, then lost it. They believe that all this is happening to them because they think they're being stalked by people they don't know, even though they actually are. And therefore then they try to claim the target has a mental illness and cannot take care of themselves because of it. They will also stage assaults and extreme intimidation towards the target at their hiking areas, apartment complexes, and travel routes, including at businesses and universities, public libraries, or whatever, so the target can then be blamed for the incident and then accused of being a threat to themselves or others. And these are the types of bullshit. These are the absolute descriptions pertaining to how they get the syndicated probate control. Target cannot take care of themselves. Target keeps getting an apartment and losing them. Target is a threat to themselves or others. Target is mentally ill. Now, that's why the police will not investigate the factual gang stalking of you, even when they've been shown indisputable evidence, which I'm going to add a little bit to that, show you in this video. So you can also go to Google and type in UCSD and Law Library, are they networking gang stalking, to see some massive in-your-face evidence. See, the police will investigate you being gang stalked because, for one, they're connected to it. It's all over the internet that they are, implicated by thousands upon thousands of targets all over the internet. They've been implicated as far as being participants in this crime, or at least not investigating it, on national radio shows, local news broadcasts, and even, I don't know about TV shows, but what we got to understand here, well, for one, do you really honestly think that the police don't know why women would call them assaults, robberies, rapes, theft? And what I mean by that is that when they stage events, whether it's at the target's camping area and or along their routes, they know that the target is already potentiated to act out or to at least break down as a result of the non-stop continued everyday harassment, and then how the assault or the intimidating event is added to it, like the last straw that broke the camel's back. And the police know why they're called. And when the event is occurring, they know it's a staged event because they're the ones who are bringing it about. So the police are already monitoring their radios, and the target's cell phone is already hacked, so they know when the target's calling 911, and that's when the syndicated cop will answer the call. So, fellow American citizens, my name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California. I live in La Jolla. I am a target, victim, and activist concerned in the criminal expeditions of what is known as organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking, which is nothing but a criminal expedition that is absolutely being hosted, perpetrated, and protected by organized crime members in the system at the federal, state, county, city, and town level. And it also reaches out within the community as well. So, what I'm doing right now is attempting to use Instagram here. Hold on a second. Okay, well, it doesn't look like I'm able to bring up Instagram on this phone because I let this contract expire because I bought a new phone. So I tell you what I'm going to do. It just went out of service as of 3 days ago. And I figured I should be able to bring up I forgot that Instagram is an actual internet platform. So basically just go to that blog. I'll give you the title of it again, okay? UCSD and Law Library, are they networking gang stalking? There's massive in-your-face Twitter evidence, Instagram evidence, video evidence, you name it. Email evidence, video, YouTube evidence, the MTS assault, the fact that the perpetrator sent me text messages to the very phone that I just got done trying to use, and 3 letters in the mail. One letter literally, one of the letters literally states, "We've elevated your gang stalking to level 4." I mean, how crazy can you be? So what I was going to do is play you 2 separate 15-second long audios of 2 separate events that happened 11 months apart, 169 miles apart. One in November of 2000. I'm sorry, one in December of 2012, and one in November 2013. The 2012 event occurred in Yucca Valley, and the 2013 event occurred on Thanksgiving Day 2013. So just look for the Yucca Valley events and the Thanksgiving event in YouTube videos and Instagram audios when you go to that blog. And plus, anyways, as soon as you get into that blog, you're going to see massive in-your-face evidence that I'm being gang stalked. Now, the reason why I brought this up is because these staged events, these little filthy sewer rat animals, will absolutely use a person's own psychology pertaining to assaults, okay? Because in order for the police, see, because the police reports, the incident reports, the information sheets, and then I momentarily had brought up the social services, because whenever you are homeless and you have a steady income, or whether you do or not, and you go to apply for food stamps, okay, they look at how much they're going to give you based on your income and your expenses, okay? So if you're homeless and say you got Social Security, you go down and you apply for food stamps, they then say, okay, well, this is how much you bring home every month, and you don't have any expenses because you're homeless, so we can only give you this much food stamps. But then when you get an apartment, you have rent, utilities, food costs, and so on. They will then adjust your bills to your income in order to be able to distinguish how much they're going to give you in food stamps. As a result, they know that you were homeless, then got an apartment, and then when you lose it because of the gang stalking, that becomes a matter of record, which the courts can petition when they attempt to take the illegal probate control in order to prove you can't take care of yourself, in order for them to imply that you can't take care of yourself because you got an apartment, lost it, all because you think you're being stalked by people you don't know, and all because you think that you became homeless because of this stalking campaign that's happening to you, even though it is. And this is how the courts are being illegally and criminally used. It's the violations of the RICO Act, because the end result is absolute human slavery, human trafficking. The expedition absolutely continues and is escalated once the target individual once they have obtained the probate control. This is the reason why the homelessness is created to begin with. Now, fellow American citizens, they will also petition the target into county mental health, a neighborhood area psychiatric floor. They will arrest the target for anything, okay? And once they're arrested, they can force the target to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist in a detention center. If a target calls 911 and starts complaining about the gang stalking, the police will say, well, we're going to call a psychologist here to the scene for you because we think you might be mentally ill. They already threatened that with me back in 2013, and they've done it to other targets as well. Now, to help you see that this is a mechanism of organized crime in the system, whether you're being gang stalked or not, you can go to Google and type in the California Family Coalition, and look at what they're doing to Stuart Cole, who's the president of that organization. They've caused him to go through hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees, and they're using every type of doctor against him and his family, okay? And because they also have organized crime racketeering schemes going on in the divorce custody court, you know, pertaining to like divorce custody, using the courts for it. They're using racketeering for these objectives as well. Child custody, foster care, things like that. And even when, like, say, you can have a person who might be connected to the syndicate or know somebody who is, if their spouse wants to divorce you and doesn't want you to have legal custody of your kids, they can initiate it, or the system can initiate it against you if they are going after you for any reason. So just look at how the doctors are being used against this guy. You would not believe what I know. Think about it this way. When you have indisputable evidence that you're a victim of a crime and you run to government agencies, including law enforcement, with indisputable evidence that you're a victim of a crime, and they completely ignore all of it, okay, allow the victimization to continue, and then use their employment descriptions to aid and abet in the criminal expedition, logic and probabilities and common sense alone would tell you and anybody else that these filthy animal rats are involved in it. So what you'd have to do in order to protect yourself is try and prove that they are involved in it, keep yourself safe concerning it, until you can find uncorrupted legal advocacy. Now, they know through cyber surveillance that I am looking up lawyers, activist groups, other places that I might be able to get some assistance, because the homelessness is the only thing that they can use against me in reference to actually being able to come right to me and say, well, you're engaged in illegal behavior, illegal lodging, trespassing, or encroachment. Even though the filthy criminal sewer rats, if they would have investigated the gang stalking of me on 8/18/2011 from that day forward when I originally complained about it, I wouldn't still be homeless. Absolutely. Now, one of the reasons why they intimidate you to get a place is to get you to go through your money, so after the eviction, through a bunch of different types of different techniques that they can covertly bring about, staged events at apartment complexes, stealing your rent, breaking into your home, they can do a number of different things in order to make it appear they have a normal appearing reason to evict you, while all that money that you have spent and went through as you're paying month to month to month rent could be saved and in your pocket. Why go through all that money when you know you're going to lose the place? And also how they will use you losing that place, combine it with a lie, to use it against you. So basically the goal to intimidate you to get a place is to get you to go through this money, and for documentation purposes, for the illegal probate control. Because once the homelessness is created again, they just gang stalk you back to your new hiking areas and bring about the same thing they're doing against the target individual while they're currently in it. And these are the clever techniques and schemes of gang stalking. And that's the reason why I will not, probably more than likely, will not get a place to live until I can find at least a lawyer that I can trust and who stays with me and who does not engage in any uncorrupt behavior. Okay? Because I know what they're doing. I've seen them do this to women in Michigan. I've read targeted individuals' blogs pertaining to what they're doing to them, and they did it to me already in Michigan. I'm not stupid. And they know I'm not stupid. See, organized stalking and gang stalking is extremely hard to prove. That's why all their bullshit is managed covertly. Absolutely, so they can get to walk away with what they do to a target while the target individual lives in the circumstances and effects of what they covertly manage. And I'm not going to let them make me go through my money just because they're intimidating me about being caught hiking. I would not be hiking if this filthy campaign did not create the homelessness of me to begin with. I already went through hell in Michigan, going through 4 separate apartments because of this crime in Michigan alone. Do you honestly think that I'm going to allow these filthy maggots? Think about it this way. Go to Google. Let me check the values on this. Go to Google right now and type in the University of Michigan, Dearborn, Michigan, their address. Okay? Write it down. Then go back to Google and type in UCSD, La Jolla, California, their address. Then go to MapQuest, because you know how you can go to MapQuest and you can type in, like, say if you got your home address and then you want to go to a dentist office, you put your home address in the first box, then you put the dentist address in the box pertaining to where you're coming from and where you're going to, so you can get directions from one place to another. So do that in reference to U of M Dearborn, Michigan's address, and UCSD La Jolla, California campus, their address, and look at the distance in miles. I indisputably proved that I was being gang stalked in Michigan. Indisputably. The evidence is, part of it is in that blog. So how was I gang stalked all the way from Michigan to Connecticut to San Diego, in which interstate stalking is an extreme felony at the federal level? And is a United States Postal Service worker who stole my rent through a United States Postal Service money order in Michigan, which is a federal offense right there. Stole my rent. And then they expected me to pay for that month's rent that was stolen, the one that was upcoming, and then they could have stole that and expected me to pay all 3 again. Do you understand? While they were engaging in a massive amount of crimes towards me and my property in that last apartment I was at in Michigan. So, fellow American citizens, use your thinking. Go to Google and type in how they create homelessness targets. Would you go through thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars that you can actually use to try and survive this crime? Okay, by getting an apartment you already know they will cause you to lose, when you can actually instead pocket that money and use it to try and survive. Think. Why should I assist a bunch of murdering, torturing, raping, filthy, human trafficking maggots in their criminal expedition when I can think for myself and do what I need to do to stay safe? And it's not just that. Think about it this way. When you're sleeping in a tent, you lock it from the inside. Go to YouTube and type in Stockton, San Antonio. How they entered both of these women's homes and raped them. Now you can't really enter a person's tent, okay, without forcibly trying to do it, okay, because it's locked from the inside. It's not unlocked by a key, which they can enter your apartment through locksmiths, corrupt landlords and property owners, okay. So and if you pick the right camping area and engage in behavior that's smart, and I'm not gonna say too much more about that, in order to protect yourself, you're actually safer camping. Okay, because they can go into your apartment and drug your food, which they do, your water, okay, your toothpaste, anything, okay, and then come in and rape you, which is what they literally do. And if you don't believe me concerning that, just outside of the Stockton, San Antonio YouTube video that's in the blog, and how it relates to 2 emails that I made in 2006 and 8, 2 of many, you can also research John Hall's videos on the internet. You clearly hear him talk about what they did to this woman that they set up into an apartment pretending to be her savior, and he went and rescued her because they were entering her apartment every day, drugging her food, and coming in and raping her and videotaping her. Do you really think that I would let these filthy maggots in the system intimidate me into getting an apartment where they can do this to me? Which I have already proven through these 2006 and 8 email files that they did enter my apartment in Michigan when I was sleeping. I went to bed, okay, all the lights off, all the doors closed, woke up, and all the doors in my apartment were open and all the lights were on. So when you go to Google and you type in UCSD and Law Library, Are They Networking Gang Stalking? Go to the section within that blog that's titled Stockton, San Antonio. Look at the news broadcast and then look at the PDF link that's got Ken 5 in the last part of the name of the PDF link and open it up. Cross-reference what's parenthesized and circled in the emails to the transcript of the Stockton, San Antonio YouTube video. And look at what came first. I wrote the emails before these 2 separate women's testimony in Texas pertaining to the video. And you'll see I'm telling you the truth. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California, so please say a prayer for my safety. I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I don't sleep around, I don't steal, and I do not hang around one person at all in any way, shape, or form. I mind my own business everywhere I go, and I'm not involved in any illegal activity whatsoever. And I want you to know the truth. If I disappear, or if I get arrested, the San Diego Police Department, the San Diego Sheriff's Department, the San Diego UCSD Police, the San Diego Prosecutor's Office, and the San Diego Public Defender's Office, and the San Diego District Attorney's Office, and the State Attorney General's Office are absolutely connected to the criminal realities that are happening to me, and more than likely other San Diego targets as well. Sylvia Amaryllis, Victoria Rose, Beth Donahue, Brian Tu, his last name is spelled T-E-W, Miraj Shahan, Bonnie in Oceanside, who's all over the internet. There's another woman who's all over the internet. Her blog is stoporgangstalking.com or .org. So you'll see that I'm not the only victim of this crime in San Diego, and they're all mentioning the police. Do you really think that's an accident? Okay, so this is an addendum video. You don't really have to search for the other 2 videos in reference to how this is the third video of a 3-part video series, but this one does complement those 2. So try and look for the videos that were uploaded on the same date. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California. I speak truth. Every single syllable that came out of my mouth just right now is the absolute, literal truth. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.